What's up, Wanderers? It's Watson here, and it's time for another weekend adventure. Let's see where the rails take us this time. One quick hop on the train later, and here we are in Dorking. Getting close to the destination now, just one bus ride to go. And here we are, Box Hill National Trust. Let's go and have a look around, shall we? Hopefully it's good. So my intention today is to take the stepping stone path walkway, which is a 3-mile walk. Relatively simple for me, I'd say, on the whole, from years of scouting. Not to brag or anything. However, I think I've got off at the wrong point. I think I got off a stop early. So we've ended up approaching the park from a different side. So we'll see where we end up.
A few moments later.
So, remember how I was saying? I feel really fit, really healthy, really up for it at the moment. This is going to be an easy walk for me. I'm clearly out of practice. You'd think walking around very little to get to work and stuff would do the job. Turns out it doesn't. Might not help that I've got my laptop in my backpack. Why? I know you asked me on that front. But in good news, we found, look at that, stepping stone walk. What we were after all along. So I'm pretty sure I'm going backwards around the walk, because just over this hill, or should I say just, oh, this was a bad decision, there's nettles there. Just on this hill is the Box Hill Fort. So these forts were commissioned in 1850 and were finally built in around 1890, and they were supposed to be the last line of defence for London in case of an invasion on the English soil during the beginning of the end of the British Empire. Given everything that would happen 50 years later, the children and grandchildren of these parliamentarians who commissioned these buildings would take their ideas to build the outer defences for World War I and II. The idea was to have stations like these set up all across around London and then build trenches all the way through them from place to place in a desperate attempt to defend. To be honest, it sounds a bit strange, but given the lack of machine guns then and firepower being much more limited, maybe it would have worked. Now they stand pretty much empty though. It's nice looking tourist destinations. Surprised they don't get refurbished for asylum seeker refuge or something. Don't think I'll be getting in there anytime soon. Ooh, echo. So we finally made it to the visitor centre, and I just checked the map. It says that the stone wall is only going to take us about an hour and a half, which, given that it's like 10:15, I got up early for this, it's probably going to be a bit easy. So we're going to see what else we pick up along the way. Also, some other adventurer, probably quite young, left a very nice stick behind. So we're going to go for a walk with it in his memory. I'm not saying he's dead, or she, who knows. But I'm just saying, you know, keep the spirit going and trying not to catch the sun in the camera. You can tell I'm new to this. Anyway, so yeah. So I am like a minute away from the centre, and I've already decided to go straight off the beaten track into walls of greenery. I see a gap over there. Let's go through. So you know how in Narnia there's the door that leads to nowhere? Well, I think I found the gate that leads to nowhere. I wonder what happens if I go through it. It's not got fencing on either side, I should point out. It's just a completely intact gateway with nothing around it. It's locked. Oh, it's not locked, but still. Also, I like how I'm reaching over here to unlock it. Wow. BLG. Am I blind? What does that say? Is that Stone Bridge? I think I'm going in the wrong way. I think we want to keep going this way. Back through the gate. Well, this might teach me to not go off the trail as much. Found a way through. Don't think, ow, I'll be doing that again anytime soon. So about over there is where I came out of the forest, and I happened to come out in front of this. This is a gravestone to a gentleman called Peter Lebray. There's some communication on the spelling, and of course I can't pronounce anything being dyslexic. He was as it says here, an eccentric resident of Dorking who was buried head downwards He was a major in the British Army and was involved, I was quickly reading the wiki, in the American War of Independence, and I believe he paid off British soldiers to stop fighting in it. He was buried upside down because, from the sounds of things, he suffered from what we'd now call PTSD in the later stages of his life, and he decided the world was topsy-turvy, and the only way to sort it was for him to be buried upside down as well. The actual burial his actual body was buried probably closer to where that tree is, on that hill, but it was moved over here. A new tomb was built over here in the 1900s, so it wouldn't fall apart. So he's just as part of Box Hill, I guess, as anyone else is now, and it has just started to rain. And I dropped the headpiece for my tripod back at the fort, so I need to go walk over there again and get it. So, yeah. So we've finally started properly descending the valley, and we are on these kind of steps that have been dug into the hillside. Hillside? Hillside. I think we'll say hill. It's definitely no mountain. According to the National Trust, there are 275 of them, and according to my screen, my camera is playing up. So dear help me if I have issues from now on. This is going to be a terrible pilot episode. Well, I think we're getting there. I can hear the sound of people playing, and more importantly, there's a sign right there that says so. Footbridge or stepping stones. I wonder which one I'm going to be taking. Fun little fact about these rocks, they were removed in World War II in case the Germans invaded. Hard to imagine now a fully cladded out German army making their advancement over a few small stones over a short river. To be honest, they could probably just waded in, only get to about your knees. Anyway, let's enjoy the stones. Well, unsurprisingly, a bit busy over there. Can't tell who enjoys it more, the dogs or the kids. Still, don't think they've got anything on Takeshi's castle, do they? My feet are cold. Having spent a good half an hour here now, really enjoying the water, I think the kids are better at climbing through steps than the dogs are. And I also understand actually why the stepping stones were removed. It took me a good few minutes to get my boots back on after getting into the water. And if you've got to do that for an entire army, yeah, no, removing those stones was a good tactical decision. Anyway, I've got to keep seeing where the rest of this trail goes. I think it's all downhill from here. Apart from the fact it's actually uphill. Here we are, just a little bit further upriver. I think there's a few people coming up to it now. You can tell it's getting towards midday because everything's got a lot busier. And I think this leg of the walk will be as well. So in my desperate attempt to keep kids' faces out of things, there might be a few less recordings. Which is a shame because I love river walks. Oh, it started raining, fabulous. I really love river walks. Again, see the things I was saying earlier about the kind of tranquil nature of flowing water? Especially being in the water, that's really fun. I don't know if I quite enjoy it as much if the water is also coming from the sky at the same time, but there we go. Sorry about the carrot, by the way, I'm a bit hungry. So we're not far along from the bridge now, and as you can see behind me, we can now see the top of the valley really nicely. Really brings your eyes to the sky as you walk around this corner. The river is just down there. But the most important update, one, I got to give a cooch to a very pretty dog who walked up to me and just sat in front of me and was like, "Gib." And a small child asked about the stick and asked me what it was. And I said it was a cool stick. And they agreed. Get in! This is the best walk ever. There's always something deeply peculiar about being in one of these kind of not very long, but longish walks, surrounded by the noises of nature, and you can probably hear them from the microphone. now just making it to the main road. On the subject of clashes with modern man, just off the path, the river of course under the tunnel. I don't know if the echo effect is picked up on the mic, and if it is, Editing Watson is going to have fun trying to make it sound good, I reckon. Always like being under a bridge. There's something very fun about it. Maybe I'm actually a troll. Make a pact to enjoy better coffee. That brings a whole new level to coffee log. How's that for a D&D reference for the people who play it? But after that walk past a very fancy looking coffee shop, it's time to start heading back uphill. Why did I pack the laptop? Well, that was an uphill walk and a half, as you can see. The eagle-eyed among you may also notice this is a very familiar place behind me. Just on the other side of that bush there is the sign that let us know that we were on the right path of the Skipping Stone Trail. So we have now done a circuit. Right, well I've had some tea, had a good view, let my brain rest. I think it's time we go and return that stick, huh? Well, like I said, take only memories. I'm going to leave the stick where we found it next to this tree. Hopefully someone else gets it a good walk at some point. Another young adventurer. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had an interesting time recording it, and I imagine a fun time editing it. If you have, feel free to like and do all the commentary stuff. If you haven't, let me know. If you want to support the channel, there'll be a donation link in the bottom. All funds go to making these videos better. Thank you very much, everyone. See you on the next walk. Bonus clip on the walk back to the bus. Ginger spice ice cream. Very nice.